Today I'm just going to start with the story. And here goes the story. Abuna went one time to a Sunday class, like Sunday school class, and it was very close to the Holy Week, and he asked all the kids to express their feelings about Jesus' suffering through that Holy Week in a drawing. And then he gave all the kids a piece of paper, pencil, and he gave them like 10-15 minutes. So he came back and asked the kids, all right, are you guys done? They say, okay, we're done. He started looking at the pictures or the drawing that they did. So he goes to the first one, and of course, everybody think just the Christ on the cross with the crown of thorn, spears, blood, and then go on. All the kids are almost the same, except for the last kid. So Abuna didn't see a paper for him. So he asked him, where's your drawing? And he was hiding behind his bag. So he told him, I have it, but I just don't want anybody to make fun of me because it's completely different than everybody else. So Abuna told him, no worries, just show it to me and we'll talk about it. So the kid get the paper out, and here's the picture. The picture was the Last Supper, big table, and then it has 11 disciples, and right in the middle, it was empty. No Jesus. So Abuna asked the kid, he go like, well, I understand it's 11 disciples, Judas not there, but what is Jesus? So he go like, he's right by the window. So the kid just draw a window, and Jesus right by the window. So he go like, why Jesus by the window, not on the table? So he told him, well, he was waiting for Judas to come back. So that was the kid's expression of suffering. So today was actually the beginning of Jesus' suffering, is today. Why? Because one of his own disciples betrayed him. So the suffering started today. And this is why we call today, do you know what the Wednesday of the Holy Pascha we called? Another name. Anybody knows? Arba Ayub. Job Wednesday, right. Because it's the same story. Today was the beginning of the suffering, all right? And Job was a very good man. Of course, Jesus is as well. And then Job went through a lot of suffering, and he got hurt from his friends. Same. Jesus went through a lot of suffering, and he got hurt by his own disciples, Judas. And then Job's story had a very happy ending, right? And Jesus' story had a very happy ending by the resurrection, our salvation. All right? So Jesus' feelings getting closer towards the cross with everybody around him, it was towards his disciples. And we can see this because if we go back a little bit in the 6th Sunday of the Lent, what happened? A great miracle happened, right? What is it? The blind man, all right? Jesus created eyes for a man who was born blind. Never happened before, never will. So towards the cross, the Holy Week, the great miracles start happening because God, Jesus, wanted to strengthen his disciples in faith. right? So what happened last Saturday? Lazarus, right? Jesus did what? Raised him from the dead, right? So was that the first time? The third time, right? So why this time was... No, I'm sorry, for Jesus. Yeah, Jesus raised 3 people from death, right? Why this one was great miracle? Yeah, I wanted you guys to participate. Because of what? 4 days. Because this time, Lazarus was in the tomb for 4 days. All right? So nobody can come back and say, hey, that was not a true miracle. No, it was. It was in front of a lot of people. So this is just the beginning of the suffering. All right? So today we had 2 events, 2 stories. We have 2 extremes. Okay? First one is extreme love. Unknown woman came and she showed so much love to the Christ. Second one is extreme betrayal. His own disciple betrayed him. Right? 2 extreme. We all know the story. So we'll go a little fast with the story. Okay? So Jesus was in Bethany with his disciple in the house of Simon the leper, Simon al-Abras. And then he was talking to his disciple. A woman came from nowhere, and then she broke a flask of a very costly, fragrant oil, and she poured it in Jesus' head. Right? Okay, let me stop here for a second. A broken, she broke the flask. Just a very spiritual reflection here with the word broke. Okay? Broke in the Bible means 3 things. Okay? Means love, good smell, blessing. Okay? So if we remember back in the Old Testaments, Jacob was wrestling God. And then what happened? His hip was broken, right? And that was the beginning of his blessing, peace life after that, right? Okay, Psalm 50. Now, the youth have to help me with this. In the end of Psalm 50, about the broken, do you remember? Yes, broken and humble heart, God shall not despise, right? All right, even tomorrow, Great Thursday, when Jesus was in the Last Supper, what did he do? He got bread and then he did what? He broke it. And we hear this in the liturgy every single time, right? In the institution prayers. When Abuna say he broke it and gave it to his own disciple, which is broken for you and for many. Broken, it's love. All right? So let's compare here between the 2 stories, the 2 extreme. All right? We have extreme love. You guys are going to help me with that. And extreme betrayal. All right? So we're going to start with the love, of course. Who's the main character? The unknown woman. And then extreme betrayal. Who was a character? Judas. All right. The place. When did this happen? Extreme love happened where? I just said it. Huh? The house of Simon the leper in Bethany. All right. And the extreme betrayal happened where? In the house of the chief of priests, Caiaphas. Right? All right. The cost. What was the cost for the flask of the oil? Just to be specific, more than 300 denarii, right? أكتر من 300 dinar. And what was the cost of the betrayal? 30 pieces of silver. And by the way, Al-Qaddis Sam'an al-Surugi, Saint Simon, he said before that back then, the 30 pieces of silver is probably the same cost of the robe that he hanged himself in. Same cost. That's how cheap it was. All right? So, let's talk about, we're still in a compare. Jesus' feelings. What was Jesus' feelings about the extreme love? He was happy, he was sad. Of course he was happy, right? What about Jesus' feeling about the betrayal? He was not happy, he was sad, he was hurting, right? All right, what is the results for the extreme love? Absolutely, eternal life. And then Jesus said, wherever this gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told, right? The other one. There is eternal life, and there is eternal fire. Very close, right? It's only one letter different, but it's a huge difference, right? And then he just ended up killing himself, all right? Okay, so go to the extreme love. We're talking about true or false worshiper, okay? So the woman, true or false? Very true worshiper, right? What about the other story? False worshiper, okay? And this is for all of us. This is for all of us. And I think we heard it in the two sermons, Monday and yesterday. We have to be fruitful. We have to be not just coming to church and leave, do whatever. We have to be fruitful. Okay? So this is the difference between the extreme love and the extreme betrayal. Okay, so my question, how many times did we hear about a woman came to Jesus and poured fragrant oil on him? How many times this happened? 3 times, okay. So this is a conclusion now. This is our homework, all right? So 3 times. We're gonna go one by one, and each one of them has a very, very good meanings, all right? So, first one, we're gonna start from far from the Holy Week, and then we're getting closer to the Holy Week on the cross, right? So, first one, try to say with me so that way you can actually remember. Luke 7, okay? First one is Luke 7. And it was the sinner woman. It was the sinner woman. This woman, known by everybody that she's really, really a sinner. And then she came to the Christ, and where he was that time? Yep, the other Simon now, Simon the Pharisees. All right, and he was in his house in Capernaum, and then she came and she poured the expensive oil on his feet. All right? From the front or from the behind? From behind. Why? She's a sinner. She couldn't even stand in front of Jesus. So she came from the back. I think back of the days, Zaid probably was sitting on the floor and maybe his feet was like hanging out from behind, and then she started doing that. Okay. And this happened before the cross, maybe like 2 years, something like that. It was the beginning of Jesus' service, right? And this is a good example for repentance, all right? She came, she poured the oil because she offered what? She repent, right? And then all her sins We're gone. Okay? So that's the first time. Luke 7, sinner woman. Simon the Pharisees. It was in Capernaum, and she poured the oil on his feet from the back. Right. First story. Second story. John 12. John 12, all right? And this has happened a few days ago. Okay? So, Lazarus' sister, Mary. All right? And it was in Bethany, Lazarus' house. And it was 6 days before the cross. Okay? 6 days before the cross. And she also poured the oil on his feet. But this time, it's from the front. Why? Celebration. I will call it Thanksgiving. Okay? She came from the front, poured it on his feet, because she was given a Thanksgiving. All right? So that's the second one. So the first one was Luke what? 7. Second one, John 12. All right. Third story is our story today. Matthew 26, Mark 14. Matthew 26, Mark 14. And this is today's story. The unknown woman. It was in Simon's the leper's house. And then it was 2 days before the cross. 2 days before the cross. But this time, it was on his head. Right? On his head. And, of course, she did it from the front. And that was showing extreme love. Okay? So, Luke 7, John 12, Matthew 26, Mark 14. All right. So, that means this is our three ways, really important ways for eternal life. 1, repentance as the first one. 2, thanksgiving as the second one. 3, love as today, because God is love. Glory be to God forever and ever.